Welcome to part 2 of learning how to love yourself. We are joined today by my brother, Cameron.
Yeah.
And so today we're going to be talking about giving a different perspective on a female learning how to love themselves from a male's perspective. Meaning what a man would like to see or should be seeing in you that you love yourself when you're in a relationship with him, and how it may affect the relationship or even the guy that when you don't love yourself. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So hey guys, it is Shay. Welcome to my channel, It's Shay's Life, a lifestyle channel that consists of vlogs, makeup tutorials, fashion hauls, relationship tips and advice, and all showing life after a toxic relationship. If you want to know what's on the other side of a toxic or abusive relationship, stay tuned. So let's get started. So just to kind of give a little quick review of what we talked about in last week's video. Some things that you can look for to know that you're loving yourself, or to help you love yourself, is to date yourself, enjoy your own company, and work on forgiving yourself. So those are like the biggest top 3 things, even for me, that I've had to do in my healing journey to properly love myself and to learn to accept God's love for me and to be able to accept a man's love when he does come. So Cameron, to start off, do you love yourself?
I do.
And how would you say you know that you love yourself?
I would say I love myself because I'm very content with who I am when I'm by myself. I'm not looking for confirmation or satisfaction in another person. I can be by myself in my room just chilling, and I don't get into that phase where, oh, I wish I had somebody to talk to, or, you know, I'm really lonely right now. I'm very content with who I am, my own person, and who Christ has made me to be to this point.
That's really good. But I think that's a really good point, that whether you are in a house with family or living on your own, that you are content by yourself. That you really just need to learn who you are in Christ and learn how to accept yourself the way that he made you and go from there. So Cameron, as a male perspective in a relationship, or even somebody that you're looking to court or possibly, you know, date, or whatever the case may be, however you want to phrase it, what are some things that you look for in a female to know that she actually truly loves herself?
So the question, do you love yourself, I ask a lot of people, and sometimes it raises kind of eyebrows because they don't really understand what I'm saying. So the biggest thing that I look for when I'm courting or looking to date somebody is just really what they say. So if they say something like, I'm looking for somebody to complete me, it's a red flag. You should already be completed by yourself. You should be looking for somebody to compliment you. Because if you're constantly looking for somebody to fill that void, no human is going to be able to fill a void, because humans are humans. Humans make mistakes. Humans are going to, make you upset. The only person who can fill that void for you is Jesus. So that's one of the biggest things to look for. If a woman is constantly trying to be around me, they're always saying, oh, I want to spend every single second of the day with you. And then as soon as they leave me, they're like, oh my gosh, I miss you so much, can you please come back? It's kind of a little bit too attachy for me, but that's just me personally. But that kind of makes me think that you are not content with being alone. There should be days where you feel okay with having some distance. Say someone's phone broke, or they go out of town, and you're not seeing them, and you find yourself saying, oh, I'm depressed, I'm lonely, I'm going crazy. That goes to show that you really don't truly love yourself. And a lot of people don't see it that way. A lot of times they're just like, oh, I'm in love and that's just how I feel. No, it's deeper than that. Everybody has a different way of loving themselves. It's not going to look the same for everybody. So you got to learn what about yourself is going to make you appreciate who you are, and then just focus on those things until you can truly say that you love yourself.
As Christians, what do you say? Because we both talked about, God and having God as our center, and only God can, fill that void that we cannot look to man to fill. What type of relationship are you looking for in another believer or somebody who says they are a believer, to know that they are confiding in God to fill that void, or confiding in God to give them that love they need, and that they truly do love themselves the way that God loves them?
It has a lot to do with the lifestyle. If they have to, be sure that, their relationship with Christ comes before anything. Because like I said, you want somebody to compliment you. So if you are putting Christ before anything and they're saying, yes, Christ is everything, but then once you come around, they're kind of putting their relationship with God on the back burner because they're so happy to be with you, that's a red flag in itself right there. So you always want to look for somebody, if they say, they're a Christian and they really value their relationship with God, that they keep that first, no matter what happens.
That is very important. Because if you do not keep your relationship first, your relationship with God first, it can create a whole nother mess of stuff. Whether you guys are both saved and you're trying to abstain from sex, or whether you guys are trying to do this or do that, or just move and walk in your purpose, if you don't keep God at the helm, then you're not going to be able to, walk in that. Tell me about some relationships that you may have had, that you have seen, or girls that you've been on dates with, that you have seen that they didn't love themselves, and how it affected you or your relationship with them.
It just made me feel like I had to pick up the slack. It added extra pressure on myself. I told myself that I need to be this high and mighty Superman type guy when they were feeling low. And I'm not saying that if you love yourself, you're never going to feel sad or you're never going to feel down. Like, that's still going to happen. But when you do feel down and feel sad, you shouldn't automatically say, well, I'm in a relationship, so he has to be the person.
That's good.
Or she has to be the person to pick me up.
So tell me about what it was like for you to have to leave that relationship, and the healing process that it took you, that you found yourself, I guess from what you were saying, that you had to kind of be their God. And so what was it like for you after you left that relationship to prepare for another relationship, or even just healing after that?
Yeah. So the healing process was rough. Because you're in that constant state of, I didn't do good enough, I wasn't enough for them, I probably won't be enough for the next person, because I feel like I did everything I can and it still didn't work out the way that I planned it to. So it's a lot of, regaining self-confidence and rebuilding your self-esteem. But at the end of the day, I had to look for, I look to God, see God, and just say, like, hey, I know that this isn't how you want me to act, and this isn't how you made us to be. We're not supposed to be saviors. So I just asked him for help in my healing process.
So what is some advice for girls that you have to, as a male, to work on themselves, and if they were in traumatic relationships or toxic relationships, abusive relationships, to work on healing, so that when they come into a relationship with a whole person, that some things that they can do to be better prepared for that, from your point of view.
If you are coming out of a toxic, abusive relationship, it's imperative that you don't look for the guy who is Mr. Nice, who wants to say, oh, like, let me do this for you, or let me do that for you, because, then those acts of service only go so far. Because you see a lot of times, the guy will do that to, get the prize. Yes. And then once that happens, he becomes very content, and then you find yourself in the same situation you just got out of. So it's okay to say no to a date when you're working on yourself. It's okay to say no to going out with friends. It's okay to just stay, by yourself and just work on yourself. It's hard to work on yourself when you're always surrounded by people, even if it's just your closest girlfriends, or even if it's just closest girlfriends. Like, it's okay to say, no, I'm just going to stay at home and, you know, work on myself.
Or even taking yourself out. Like I said in the last video, one thing that you can work on for yourself is just taking yourself out on dates and spending that quality time with yourself. You don't always have to be at home. You can go to the park. You can, you know, if you have a dog, take your dog for a long walk. Take your dog for, you know, to the dog park. Just doing these simple things. And I think what you said is like very important, because if you're not properly taking care of yourself and you leave a toxic relationship and the next guy in 2 days, a month, it's 9 times out of 10 he's not going to be that much better, and you still have not had time to really work on yourself and heal yourself, because we attract what we are. Is that how the saying goes? Mm-hmm. We attract what we are. So if you are still in that toxic state, the next person that comes, if you have not healed yet, is still going to be a toxic person. And I have experienced that myself, but I'll go into that in another video.
And guys tend to, not all guys, because I don't do this, you know, but you gotta be careful, because a lot of the guys will prey on your sadness. And
yes.
They can see when you're hurting and when you're sad, and
most
they say,
definitely.
oh, that's a dead deer, I'm about to be a vulture.
Yes, most definitely. Yeah. They always are looking for the next prey. Toxic guys are always looking for the next prey. And if you are not protecting yourself, they're not going to protect you as well. So I think that's very important. If you have any questions, if you you know, want to get personal, or if you just want me to expand on, you know, what I said, then you can leave, you know, your comments. You can leave an email. You know, it doesn't matter. We can connect. And I'll leave our information down below, that if you wanted to send a private email or anything like that. And all of our Instagrams will be down here as well. So make sure you can also, you know, send us a message and say, hey, I saw the video and I have this question, or whatever the case may be. So yeah. Well, thanks for joining us today as we talked about learning to love yourself and what it's like from a male's perspective for the female. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave them in the comments below. Send me an email, send him an email, or anything like that. And thank you for joining us today. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. And remember, we're only growing from here. Talk to you later. Bye.